Hey, can I ask you a question? Forget about it. What's that mean?
Forget about it. It can mean a lot of things. It can be like, when you have a disagreement, like, Platt's better than Maloney. No, Maloney's better than Platt. Forget about it. Or it could be when you agree on something, like that Abby Lanson from Southington. She's a good softball player. Forget about it. Or it can be when you're like you're insulting somebody. You're playing tennis. It's like, hey, Paulie, you serve like a waiter out of work. And Paulie says, forget about it. Or it can be when you're talking about the best thing ever. Like Record Journal Athletes of the Week. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may happen to be tuning in. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Marinette Record Journal, and welcome to Record Journal Athletes of the Week, Spring Edition, Week 8, Tandem Edition. So many editions, so little time. Tandem Edition is this week where we looked at different combinations from our schools and different sports. If you remember, though, last week was our Siblings Edition, and we have our winner. They are sisters, twin sisters. Maloney High School tennis. They are Abby and Haley Lespier.
All right, this is Sean Krofsik, and we are at Maloney High School, and we're at the tennis courts again, and we're with Haley and Abby Lespier. They are our athletes of the week. And Haley, let's start with you. Haley, congratulations. How do you feel about being athlete of the week?
I'm really proud.
Yeah.
I wanted to be athlete of the week, and it happened.
Yeah.
We actually pushed really hard this year.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. So you guys are off 14-2 start this year. Tell me about that.
Well, we won a lot of games that we didn't expect to win, and I'm glad we did.
We practiced more like freshman year. We came in not knowing what to do. It was our first year, and then me and Abby started liking tennis more, so then me and Abby got more into it, and then we started practicing more and more.
So now you guys are heading to States, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about what you guys can do in the States?
I'm actually really proud because now our team's going to States too, and me and Abby have been working hard for our team to go to States too. Not just individual, but we wanted a whole team to go, so we're really happy for them.
Abby and Haley, thank you for taking time to speak with Shawnee the other day. Though, Spence, I understand that, and Sean readily confesses this, he called Abby Haley, Haley Abby, then called Abby Abby, and Haley Haley, and then called them both Abby Haley. He made it just one big hyphenated name to cover all bases. Twins can do that to you. Abby and Haley having another fine season for the Maloney girls tennis team. Coach Tim Swigard, one of our favorite coaches, and the Lespiers and the Spartans, like many of our girls tennis teams, in fact, if not all of them, have qualified for the postseason. Good for the girls. All right, we have our slate of Week 8 nominees. Spence, can you believe it's Week 8 already here in the spring? Forget about it. I can't, because it's been a long, busy spring. We're gearing up for the postseason, and I realize, and I'm sure Spence already has because he's smarter than me, all of our baseball teams have qualified for the state tournament. So we decided for our Tandem Edition to get a catcher from a couple of our teams and some of the top pitchers they work with. And we're going to start with our defending state champs, a Class L defending state champs, Cheshire Rams. And two of the guys for them making it go right here, catcher Matt Costello and pitcher Mike Kozlowski. Matt Costello, senior, returning starter. He's batting .400 going into the postseason, and he handles a staff that they're 19-1. Cheshire lost to Amity 1-0 on opening day, and since then, 19 in a row. Actually, they beat Wilcox today in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament, so it's 20 in a row. They're 20-1 going into Wednesday night semifinals against North Haven down in West Haven. That's a lot of havens, but when you play Cheshire, there's not much havens to be had because Matt Costello and the pitching staff quite dominant, and Kozlowski is one. Matt Downing, the senior, gets a lot of props. He was an athlete of the week earlier this year. Mike Kozlowski, the Koz in effect, he's been on our radar screen. The kid's 5-0 going into the postseason. Two no-hitters in his junior year. Threw a 2-hit shutout the other day against Brantford. Mike Kozlowski, Matt Costello, Cheshire Rams. Will they win another state championship? We shall see. For now, they are nominees number 1 for the boys. Week 8 Tandem Edition. Our second set of boys nominees are from a team that just might challenge Cheshire for that Class L state championship. I'll tell you right now, I want to see this game be played somewhere along the line, and that is a Southington Cheshire game. We have our nominees from Southington. They are, much like Cheshire, the catcher Jake DelMonte and two pitchers, two senior right-handers, Ryan Henderson and Mr. Jason Krar. Jason was an Athlete of the Week nominee last year. He's 3-0 on this season. Ryan is 4-2. The real workhorse of that staff is Ryan Henderson. Both these guys having good seasons. And the guy behind the plate, really, who pulls it all together, just like Matt Costello does in Cheshire, is Jake DelMonte. Now, Southington, we're filming right now. It's Tuesday night, and Southington goes into its season finale, regular season finale, 16-3. I know Stevie Daniels is going to be calling me in about 15 minutes to say, hey, Southington won, and they're 17-3 going into the postseason. Jake DelMonte catching that staff with an ERA that's just a couple notches over 1.0. And DelMonte can also hit the ball, too. He's been really hot lately. 3 for 4 Friday against Hall. 3 for 3 against Northwest Catholic on Monday. Looking forward to hearing what he did tonight. He's batting .393. Jake DelMonte, Ryan Henderson, Jason Krar. Boys nominees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No matter how you want to add it up, they belong. Southington High School baseball. For our third and final boys nominees, we're going over to the track. We had the rivalry meets last week in Wallingford and Meriden. And the boys meet over at Platt between the Spartans and Panthers came down to the last race, the 4x4. And these are the guys who, in winning that race, gave Platt the overall victory. They are the 4x4 team from Platt High School. Dominic Colite, Aiden Annino, Theo Watkins, and Ian Agnew. They won their race in 3 minutes, 57 seconds, gives Platt the victory. Hey, and a nice story here going for Platt, especially Ian Agnew, senior, just like E.J. Dudley. Lost his last season of football to a knee injury, and Ian's nice to see him back in action, being part of a nice win there, and we'll see what the Panthers can do in next week's state meets. For now, they are boys nominee number 3 here in Week 8. Hey, before we move on to our girls' slate of nominees, got to say hello, howdy do to our new friends, Hergott Dental Associates, sponsor of this video, the Athlete of the Week video. And Spence, we got to get down there and shoot, man, because I want to get those nice, beautiful teeth of yours cleaned up, and we can do a shoot down there. And, I just realized, Spence, it would actually be our real Week 8 shoot, because this is actually just the Week 7 shoot. So we've been saying everybody's a Week 8 nominee. That's not really true. So I stand corrected. My math, not too good. This is the Week 7 version. Week 8, Hergott, we got to come down your way. For now, I'm bringing you the girls from Week 7. We got a good slate, too. We're going to start down at Lyman Hall High School with their young cornerstone players. Are going to be around for a couple more years, and they're certainly fun to watch already. They are sophomore pitcher Alex Tenero and freshman shortstop Emily Chase. Alex, she saw some action last year, full-time pitcher now for them. And Emily Chase, what do you say, man? You're a freshman, and you're starting at shortstop. You're a player, and their value was certainly on display last week in the rivalry game with Sheehan. Emily Chase comes up in the top of the 7th. Lyman Hall's down by a run, doubles in the tying run. Alex comes up later in the inning and singles home 2 runs that proved to be the difference in a 10-8 Lyman Hall victory. And Alex is batting .444 on the season. Going into the state tournament, Lyman Hall is qualified. And Emily Chase batting .363 also going into the postseason. They are girls nominees 1 and 2 here in the Tandem Week edition in Week 7. Our second set of girls nominees here in Tandem Week 7. We're going across Wallingford, right about over there. Sheehan High School, the girls lacrosse team, what a spring for Coach Carissa Zibikowski and her Lady Titans. They finished the regular season on a roll, 12-4, going to the SEC tournament, go down to Brantford Saturday night, and they knock off the Hornets, a team that had beaten them during the regular season, 16-7. 2 players who had big games that night and have been strong all season right here, Miss Kaitlin Mills and Renae Musco. Kaitlin Mills is a goaltender, and she had 13 saves against Brantford. Katie barred the door. She did that indeed as the Titans moved on to the semifinals. Renae Musco, who's going on to play at Southern, she had 2 goals, and she has 12 on the season. Now, as we're speaking, the Lady Titans are down in Guilford playing in the semifinals. Maybe they could pull a second upset and advance to the championship game where they would meet Cheshire. We'll see what happens. For now, Kaitlin Mills, Renae Musco, girls nominees number 2 for the Tandem Week edition. That brings us to our third and final tandem set for Week 7, and it is from Wilcox Tech softball. Absolutely Wilcox Tech softball. 15-5 in the midst of their CTC tournament. 2 girls are big players all year for them. One's a senior. She's been around for 4 years. Another one's an up-and-coming sophomore. She's already arrived, and you're going to be hearing her name now and in the future. Present cornerstone, future cornerstone. They are Briana Brown and Megan Bishins. Briana Brown, senior pitcher in her 4th year. She's batting .426. And again, she's the pitcher. She's the ace. Megan Bishins, batting .470. That's a hitter, Megan Bishins, sophomore, third base. And that's it. That is our slate, Week 7 Tandem Edition. When you see this video, it's about 6 o'clock on Wednesday. The voting is now open. You go online to myrecordjournal.com/sports. You can cast a ballot for your favorite boys tandem, favorite girls tandem. We'll bring you the winners next week in the real, live, actual, matter of fact, Week 8. Voting goes through Sunday. We'll bring you the winners next week. For now, I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the American Record Journal. Say hello to my man Spence, as always, being behind the camera, Shawnee Krofsik. And the inspiration for this week's show, you can't see him. He's back there, Mike Mazarski. Mike, good to see you back in action. We're going to get you on this show soon enough, man. I'll give you your lines at a later date. Hey, thank you very much for watching, folks. Be good. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the American Record Journal.